movie companies are going to look at her and they're going to say box office poison. And a lot of this is due to her behavior leading up to the film's release.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
As a result of the disastrous performance of the Snow White rendition, Rachel Zegler's surprise Instagram live session became a significant turning point.
They are pretending like Rachel Zegler is the first of them all when she looks like Lord Farquaad.
She immediately found herself in the thick of a public relations issue, despite the fact that she had been billed as a potential fresh face to rework the famous image. The early joy that was around the project developed into concern almost immediately as the number of box office receipts and theatrical attendance plummeted. In addition to promotional blunders or marketing weariness, viewers and industry
about maybe like a little bit of vulnerability study, opposition research, that sort of thing before you go and hire some Zoomer who's a lunatic.
Insiders started looking for more fundamental explanations for the film's low success. A substantial escalation of the problem occurred when Zegler attacked the topic head-on through the use of a live stream. Her words, which publicly responded to critical replies and contradicted portions of the original Snow White legend that had been circulating for a long time, prompted major backlash. Concerns were heightened as a result of the webcast, which contributed to the proliferation of headlines and sparked controversy across the Hollywood business. What began as a film release grew into a full-scale cautionary story for the entertainment sector.
Nobody wants a movie about true love. What kind of woman do we want out there seeking true love, Eliana?
Rival that was respectable suddenly evolved into a case study in the damage that may be done to one's reputation. The breakdown wasn't caused only by creative changes. It was the volatility around the lead actress that substantially influenced the narrative.
Hardcore. They're petrified of some kind of backlash. I wanted my money.
Rachel Zegler, known for her frank criticism, found herself at the core of a brewing tempest. Her willingness to challenge the original film's tone and explore modern topics earned attention early on. In the beginning, many people considered her openness to be refreshing. However, when her words began to take on a more disdainful tone, folks' impressions began to...
The new Disney boss babe, who is Rachel Zegler, the inverse of happy.
So she comes off as an insufferable, whiny brat.
No one on the right side of America can stand the
every way that Disney changed the story
to shift. While participating in the Instagram live session, Zegler revealed his honest critique of numerous aspects of the original film, stating that the tale was out of date and implying that it needs a full overhaul. What would have been characterized as progressive attitudes suddenly proved problematic. The session quickly represented more than simply a public outburst. It became a major event in the film's collapse. Clips from the concert spread swiftly, illustrating a shift in her demeanor from confident joy to apparent irritation. Her statements were considered by many as disrespectful, especially coming from the film's lead actress. As audience reactions trickled in and box office receipts plummeted, emphasis turned to her conduct, presenting it as a crucial determinant in how the remake was ultimately perceived. Public discussion went away from praising a fresh fairy tale to scrutinizing a blunder that may have irrevocably altered its history.
According to them and according to the writers of Snow White, women can't even want to be in love anymore.
Rachel Zegler is extraordinarily woke, but she's woke in a way that's quite deranged.
They spent $170 million to make the thing, and it had the lowest opening, under $50 million, of any of these live-action Disney remakes that they've ever.
The financial forecast for the Snow White remake was much worse than studio predictions projected. From the time advance ticket sales commenced, theater owners and experts had worries. Initial screenings fell severely below expectations after months of intensive promotion. Reports later stated that the film's high-budget marketing strategy failed to generate adequate interest. Many viewers took issue with what they regarded as a creative deviation from the original's charm. One controversial decision was to remove the love components important to the 1937 classic. Longtime supporters considered this as a move that took away the core of the plot. Another huge worry was the gap between the public image of the lead actress and the expectations of the film's core audience. Rachel Zegler's rage, chronicled on her now infamous webcast, became a lightning point for criticism. In clips broadcast extensively online, She appeared genuinely worried as she addressed fans who disagreed with the film's new direction. Her tone was viewed by many as defensive, others even felt her statements came out as condescending. While a few complimented her commitment, a larger number critiqued her obvious arrogance. Past interview tapes also appeared when she had overlooked iconic scenes from the original Snow White. Critics said these phrases demonstrated a lack of awareness for the source material, contributing to the estrangement from the audience. What should have been a modern remake developed into a flashpoint for themes about nostalgia, artistic freedom, and civic obligation. Zegler's frequent abandoning of conventional themes, such as romance, redemption, and love, was perceived not as a bold innovation, but as an irreverent critique of classic storytelling. Although she may have wanted to express a more empowered version, the response was fast and generally negative. Audiences felt detached from a picture that looked intended to diminish the magic that previously marked it. Snow White's historical charm, rooted in hope, innocence, and the triumph of good over evil, felt replaced by cynicism, leaving longtime fans disappointed. Rumors of pricey reshoots emerged, with some reports indicating they were designed to address narrative faults after catastrophic test screenings. As production costs escalated, insiders worried the budget had nearly doubled. Just as Disney worked to stabilize the project, Zegler's broadcast aroused discussion. Her comments, marked by open unhappiness and scathing remarks, became an online spectacle, inspiring memes, parodies, and angry editorials. It's vital to note, the responsibility for the film's failure cannot be laid solely on one person. While Zegler's words undoubtedly affected popular opinion, the content of the film also played a key role in the letdown. Creative decisions, like modifying the image of the dwarfs and deleting the romantic subplot, left many uncertain if these were actual alterations or theatrical gestures. Ultimately, this version of Snow White may be remembered not simply for its bold decisions, but for misjudging the balance between innovation and veneration. Instead of honoring the original's essence while modernizing its message, the picture alienated a core fanbase and provoked one of the most notable backlashes in recent Hollywood history. Social media compounded the problem. What may have been a short-term PR issue became a full-blown fiasco. Viral snippets of Zegler's broadcast were studied across platforms, overshadowing the film's graphics, costumes, and soundtrack. Reviews focused not on technological achievements, but on Zegler's apparent defensiveness and lack of interaction with fans. Critics across the spectrum raised worry. Even many who normally enjoy modern remakes voiced disappointment, not merely in the performance or language, but in the messaging, which many felt was heavy-handed or explicitly political. Instead of crossing generations, the remake exacerbated the gap. During her show, Zegler argued critics hadn't given the picture a fair chance. Meanwhile, critiques highlighted legitimate issues, shifting tone, weak characters, and a lack of emotional depth. The notion that Zegler rejected valid concerns further worsened the division. Her statements were largely seen as defensive, creating an image that many viewers considered was arrogant or out of touch. To make matters worse, online users found past social media posts from members of the creative team. Some of these posts, which featured politically charged criticism, added to the developing perception that the painting was trying to make statements rather than portray a timeless story. Instead of a celebration of classic storytelling, the Snow White remake became a flashpoint for cultural tension, pitting creative ambition against audience expectation. While the studio set out to update a fairy tale, the result highlighted a deeper lesson. The more cherished the source material, the more the need to honor it. Rachel Zegler's webcast didn't merely accompany the film's failure, it embraced it. A project that could have been a refreshing facelift turned into a cautionary story. The narrative reminds us that nostalgia isn't a barrier to progress, it's the bridge that connects past and present. When that bridge is burned, audiences don't just walk away, they remember. Thanks for watching. If you found this breakdown enlightening, make sure you like, subscribe, and press the bell symbol so you never miss an update on stories like this.